All right, went to the track for the first time and went one trip down the drag strip and it broke. Whoever built this fucking engine is a shitty engine builder. I went to go fire it up to go up there again for the second time, and there was a massive knocking in the engine. I could feel it when I was sitting in the driver's seat. I could just feel the engine shaking real bad. Well, that is my rocker bolt. That's hot as shit. That is the remaining threads that were in there, and I just pulled them out. So that rocker was just riding on that push rod and doing nothing. I bought these heads used thinking that I would save some money. Ended up having to take them to the machine shop, put a bunch of money into them anyway, so learn from me, don't buy used heads. Now they're badass heads, but I've also had to drill and tap multiple holes, and my rocker came out. So, plan is today, is we're gonna take the valve covers off both sides, we're gonna put all the rockers out of both sides, check the threads, make sure they all look perfect, and then hopefully just drill and helicoil that one. Oh, look at that. So I just pulled this valve cover off and you can see right there where the rocker was hitting. All right, well, so far, all the other ones look like they're riding on the middle of the valve on both sides. So that's usually a pretty good telltale sign that they're all fine. What I'm thinking is maybe I go through and make sure they all still torque to the same torque rating that I set them at when I built it. And then that would tell me that none of those other ones pulled out, and theoretically would mean that all the threads should be fine, because I mean I've been driving it a while now and taking it to the track once, and then hopefully we're just doing one helicoil and we're back ready to rock and roll. Well, shit, I don't know if you guys seen that. Not all of these tightened up. This is the one that is not clicking. That means there's no freaking threads left. So that one is gonna need some helicoil too. Awesome, perfect. Wouldn't have it any other way. All right, so I'm gonna take all these rockers off both sides, which I was planning on doing anyway. Definitely give some attention to this one on this side. Definitely gonna need some helicoil, and then you guys seen the other side. They all torqued fine other than those two. Hopefully we can put a helicoil on either side, tighten them up, and never have a problem again. But anyway, I'm gonna quit bitching. Let's get this thing apart so we can get to the track this weekend, because that race, August 24th, that I'm trying to make it to, that I'm gonna make it to, majorly outgunned. I got a lot of work to do to even be competitive, so let's do it. All right, here's the deal. So it's a few days later, I got some parts ordered, got some ARP rocker studs. My thought is, if we're not taking the bolts in and out of the heads, how the hell can you strip them out? I mean, if there's enough pressure on it, it could pull the bolt out, but I feel like a stud, you screw it in there, I'll probably put some Loctite on it, maybe, thinking about that. And then all I had to do is take the top nuts off, and then that's the only way. I mean, that seems like a pretty good idea. So right now I'm gonna go through and tap all the ones that are good. I just wanna clean up the threads as best I can. And then obviously this one that has no threads in it, I'm gonna have to put something in there, which should be here this evening. I called Trick Flow and they're like, oh, just put some helicoil in. I'm like, there's gotta be something better than helicoil. So I found those. They are from Amazon, not gonna lie, but hey, half this car is built from Amazon, so I think they're gonna work pretty good, but I'm waiting for those to show up, so I'm gonna keep tapping all these and then do the other side as well, and I'm gonna have to drill that one a little bit bigger, I think, and then obviously, like I said, tap it. We'll see how that goes. Either we're gonna fix the heads and I'm gonna be able to go to the racetrack on Friday, or I'm gonna completely destroy these heads and they're gonna be shit, so stay tuned. I'm ready to drill this thing. I had to set up like a guide to try to drill this as straight as possible and not get any shavings down in the head and in the engine. I bought ARP studs. They're also too short, and it's all because I had to put this 1/4-inch spacer to get my geometry right for the rockers and the valves over there. So that's what caused these bolts that I had to be a little bit too short. Basically, it was only engaging like this much of the threads, which I should have thought about that in the beginning, but it's my own fault. So it pulled out the thread. So this is a M12 by 1.75 male, and then an M8 by 1.25 female. Let's see if we can, there we go. So that is the female version is the threads and the bolts that hold the rocker down. So I'm gonna have to drill that hole bigger. Honestly, I should have these heads off and in a jig and like on a table with a drill press, but I'm doing it the redneck way because I guess I'm an idiot. But we're gonna, hopefully this works out, and then I can tie those down, and then we can go to the track tomorrow and get those times down, because that one pass last week, oh, that was rough. All right, what you guys think? There she is, all red Loctite. We're gonna send her in there. See if I can zoom this thing in a little bit. Get you guys down in there. See if I can get it in there without getting red Loctite everywhere. Bit her down with some brake cleaner, vacuumed it out. Perfect. Recess in there a little bit. Let that thing set up overnight. Oh yeah, she is. I got this side on, looking good, torqued good. And I'm gonna work on this side now. We're gonna turn the engine over to where the push rods are all the way down, torque all those, and then start this thing up and go for a drive. Hopefully it goes good. I'm gonna probably go for a drive, take the valve covers back off, crank it over, torque them all again, make sure everything is good. I don't know if you're supposed to do this. People have different opinions, but I'm putting blue Loctite on the rocker studs or the rocker bolts because they seem a little loose in the head. I've been told that they're supposed to be like that, but it seems a little loose to me, so I'm hoping a little bit of red or blue Loctite will fill in that gap and kind of hold those studs in place. No, we might not do that in the future, but I'm gonna do it this time. So get that put deck together, and then we'll start this thing up and go for a drive. All right, we're gonna start this thing up. Hopefully there's no massive knocks and it actually runs smooth for the first time in a while. So here we go. All right, we went for a drive. Thing drove really good, and I took the valve covers off and torqued everything, make sure everything was still torqued good, all good there. So we are ready to go to the track. I got the trailer out there. So we're gonna load this thing up, and we're heading to Coles County, see if we can get this thing in the mid-5s back where we left off last year. Maybe even better, but we're about to find out. But that is for next week's videos. Come back next week, see what we tear up. I'll see you later, guys.